Today you began by just trying to think of 3 thoughts or ideas you had about these words in red: scatter plots to connected graphs, 2 questions and 1 analogy. And it was just to get you to be thinking about this and to connect what we're doing today with what we did last week. So I just refreshed your memory about what we did with scatter plots last week. To see visually, we created a scatter plot of your toothpick data. These were the patterns, and really the big idea to think about is what was the domain, what was the term number for each of these, and they were only positive integers. So we had the first term, the second, the third. There's no such term as the 0th term or a negative term or a 1.5 term. So the domain, the x value, the term number are only the positive integers. And last week, these were the domains, 1, 2, 3, 4, again, positive integers. We graphed those as ordered pairs, and we did not connect the dots because it doesn't make sense to connect. There's no such thing as a 0th term, so we would not connect this to 0. And there's no such thing as a 1.5 term, so there's no ordered pair, 1.5, 5.5, so we don't connect the points. These are only the points that belong in that scatter plot. So today I had you think about real situations, and when you're writing an expression for a real situation, you have to think about what domain makes sense. So we had two different situations. One was that you're going for a ride to the airport on a bus, and it costs $11 plus $2 for every piece of luggage. And let X be the number of pieces of luggage. So in this instance, you really can't have any negative numbers. That doesn't make sense. And you can't have 1.5 pieces of luggage. So the domain, the X's, would be all of the whole numbers, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. At an internet cafe, the cost to use the computer was $10 for the first 30 minutes and then 50 cents for each additional minute after the first 30. And X was the number of minutes after 30. So you had to think about these two situations and what would make sense for the values of X. So I said, which situation makes sense for 32.5 for X? Well, you can't have 32.5 pieces of luggage, so that does not make sense for the bus ride. But you could, at the internet cafe, you could use the internet for 32.5 minutes. So you'd pay $10 for the first minute, and then 50 cents 2.5 times. 2 50 cents is $1, and a half of it is 25 cents. So it would be $10 plus, so that's 30 minutes, $10 plus $1.25. This got cut off, so that's $11.25 when X is 32.5 for the internet cafe example. If you look at the blue table on page 29, we studied each of the names of the sets, the description, and how you use set notation for each, and then you had to come up with a real-life situation for each. So the first was a set of whole numbers, and you said it could be the number of items when you're shopping. I buy 3 kilograms of apples and I pay per kilogram, or I buy 3 bananas and I pay per banana, or 3 shirts and I pay per shirt. For integers, we could have golf scores, because you can get a score in golf that is under par, a score that's equal to par, or a score that's over par, and the set of integers would make sense for that. For real numbers, you could be in debt euros, or you could have euros in the bank, so banking numbers, and you can also be in debt a half a euro or a quarter of euro or 37 euro and 50 cents, so that would make sense for money and banking. And then non-negative real numbers. It could be the amount of postage you pay for a certain number of grams in mailing a package, or the example of the internet minutes. Those would all make sense for non-negative real numbers. So then you tried this one. If we were going to make a scatter plot to see if there's a relationship between the heights and weights of 8th graders, I said, think about this. Can heights be decimals? And you could have decimal numbers for height. So again, that would be the set of non-negative real numbers. So that's basically what we worked on today, was just understanding when you connect and when you don't connect. And you then got your quizzes back. Remember, if you'd like to retake that quiz, you need to do it on Thursday during office hours. So I need to sign your planner. And this is your new assignment, and you need to do by Wednesday 1 hour in ALEKS and get 5 topics mastered. Bring your graphics calculator next class, because we're going to be working on Wednesday and Friday on how to use it to graph several different situations. That's it.